effectively we win when he doesn't have queen 10 of hearts, basically, which is a straight flush, so we'll certainly hear from him. Whoopsie. He could have like 10s. But yeah, I think we just win there at a really high frequency at that point. He'll have a lot of 2-pair, things of that nature. Okay, so the bad beat story. This is the worst beat that I can remember. Although I've definitely lost bigger pots. This was... the craziest thing is that this is $1 million pot that I lose, and I end up winning almost $1 million for this session. That's how wild the game was. So the hand went as such. There was like an open and 2 or 3 calls. I have pocket kings in the small blind. I squeeze very big. I think we were playing 3-6-12 at the time, so it was like 3K, call. I make it 20,000. And to my recollection, only Roger Sipple calls, who is a businessman from Silicon Valley. Flop is king. Let me think. Okay, yeah. So it's king of spades, jack of hearts, like deuce of spades, something in that nature, right? So I flop top set on a 2 spade board. I bet pretty big. I think there's like 50,000 in the pot now. So I bet like 40K. He calls. Turn is the queen of spades. Sorry, my apologies. It was a rainbow flop. So it was king of spades, jack of hearts, like deuce of diamonds. Turn is the queen of spades. Now putting king, queen of spades out with the jack, deuce offsuit. I check. I'm trappy like that. Sorry, I have a hand. So it's king, queen, jack, deuce. I check. He bets huge. So the pot's like 130,000, and we're like 450K effective. He bets like 75,000. So I stuff it. Now, of course, he could have 9-10 or ace-10 for sure. But what am I gonna do, man? I have top set, and this was like 2014, so we just played big fucking pots back then. You know, we're not worried about getting cooled off. He could also have worse sets or 2 pairs that he's like literally never folding, and I'm not trying to miss out on that value. So I smash her, and he just beats me in, and I go, oh, I go once or twice, and he goes, I don't know, I got a pretty good hand. I said, okay, me too. And the biggest mistake I could have made was I tabled my hand. And he goes, oh, well, my hand's not so good anymore. And he shows me jack 10 of spades. So king, queen of spades, jack of hearts, deuce. He has a pair and an open-ended royal draw. And I'm like, so twice? He goes, well, it's not so good anymore, so I just want to go once. I'm like, okay, whatever you want to do, sir. One time it is. And honestly, the sick thing is, as nervous as I was, there was a part of me that was just like, good, fuck this guy. I want to scoop him right now. I don't want him to have an opportunity to chop it. Like, it's going to be nice to win $1 million pot. Not really considering that, like, 14 outs is going to get there some frequency of the time. And I'm going to hate my life when it does. So I just buckle up and I'm like, all right, go ahead, pair that board, dealer. Ace of hearts right on the, or sorry, ace of spades right on the river, giving him the royal. And I just go, oh. He jumps out of his seat. Oh my God, that's my first royal flush. Grabs his phone, takes a picture of the board, takes a picture of my face. At that point, I'm just sitting there like this, trying to shove him $500,000 in chips over his way. And I'm just like unbelievably disgusted. I'm like, oh my God, like this is the worst thing that has certainly ever happened to me in poker, but I can't show it. Like one of the big things of being in this game is you have to be a good loser, So just like smile for the camera, nice hand, Roger. Congratulations on the royal flush. Sucks to be me. Sucks to be me, Uh-oh. OBS disconnecting. That's not good. We might lose you guys for a minute. We did. We lost you. Okay, reconnection successful. That's good. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. I've never had this happen before. I don't know what happens now. I don't know what happens now. All right, I think we're back. I think we're back. Okay, cool. Okay, so then moving forward to what was the best beat that ever happened to me. This one's real wild. Wait, are we back? I need to know. Let me check. I think we're back. I'm nervous now. I'm nervous. I'm not sure what's going on. We lost everybody. What are you asking me for, man? It's your account. No. I don't know if we're live or not. Now I'm scared. It went down briefly. But it looks like it's okay. Okay, we're back. We're for sure back. All right. We just lost everyone. It kicked everybody off. There's only 48 people watching. Frustrating. I'll wait till everybody gets back from the stream booting them. Once we have numbers fill in, then I will tell you guys the best beat. Of course he is. Suited says, "Sup, Berkey? We played day 3 of the classes together. I was the dude who mentioned your S4Y Reddit post. Good luck, buddy." Thanks, man. I'm glad to know that you guys are out there scouring the streets to let me know what a bad player I am. I always appreciate that type of feedback. Shout out Suited, my man, hitting me up, letting me know that they're talking shit. What up, Carter King? What up, Ray? Says Berkey, hopefully the recession doesn't hit you too bad. I gave myself a 25% chance of going bankrupt. That's where my vantage point is right now. I think in the next 18 months, there's a 25% chance I go bankrupt. It depends on how the government handles things like mortgage. So the more mortgage forgiveness there is, the lower my likelihood of going bankrupt is. My house is definitely my biggest asset. I have like 300K of positive liquidity, but there's obviously no market to sell right now. So if times get tough, they might come banging at my doors. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. I don't think this gets through. Yep, that was getting called. All right, we're back and popping. 135 back to watch. I'm going to give it a minute before I tell the best beat I put on somebody. It's a good one, too. Oh, it's a good one. You guys are going to like it. You guys are going to like it. Apologies for the loss of connection briefly. We had some sort of OBS issue. Not sure what it was, but we're reconnected now. We're just out here in these streets, man. We're trying to get some work done in this 500. It's a big one for us. This is the biggest event we're playing right now. 13K to first. 52 remain. Still in the re-entry period. It's pretty small today, actually. I mean, it's double the guarantee, but it's still rather tiny. Let that one go. I didn't eat enough today. I'll tell you guys that right now. I had a 1,200 calorie meal before I started streaming, which was, I don't know, about 3 hours ago. And that's about half the calories I consume in a day. And I got to tell you, it only being 3 hours later, I'm starving. Starving. And for how non-active I've been for the last 10 days or so, it takes a lot out of you to stream, man. It takes a lot of mental energy. Even just sitting here, scrolling through all the tables and everything else, it's a lot. Yeah, that one wasn't fun, man. Him hitting a royal flush. I'm glad it was the ace of spades. If it was just like the ace of diamonds, that would have been pretty uneventful and annoying. I'm also glad he didn't already have a straight. That would have made me very sad. I'm sure I actually took worse beats than that, but that's just like one of the most memorable ones that stands out to me. I also like flopped top set of kings that same year in the main event. I made the money. So in the main event, we were on like day 4, day 5. I can't remember. There was like 200 left. And I flopped top set of kings, 3-betting from the small blind versus the button. And it comes king 10x with 2 hearts. And I get it all in versus queen jack of hearts. It's king 10 of hearts. And I get it all in versus queen jack of hearts. And he just peels the ace of hearts like it was fucking meant to be. And I remember he was like this recreational player from Ohio. They wrote an article about him and shit. I was so sad, man. Busting the main event is so tragic. It is such a gut-wrenching feeling every single time it happens. There's just no preparation whatsoever for busting the World Series of Poker main event. All right, looks like we have about half of you back at least. 325 of you guys are here. We're going to talk about the worst beat that I've put on somebody. And again, this is just what stands out to me. I'm sure I've put bigger beats on someone. But this is probably one of the biggest pots I've ever... I have 2 dogs, actually, Paul. Thank you. This is probably one of the biggest pots that I've ever put a beat on somebody for. So this hand was a wild game that I was playing. It was me, Scott Seaver, Doc Sands, a CEO from Silicon Valley called Marcus Rua, and a couple other reggae players. I can't really recall off the top of my head who else was in the game. We were the majority of the action, I would say. All right, we got to go for it here. Sorry, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Kind of a weird spot. Under the gun opens. C-bets flop. C-bets flop and then check calls turn. I assume that's just pretty much exclusively under pairs. So we're going to go for it, having the ace of diamonds in hand. We also block Jack 10, which is a pretty good event for us. We block a lot of his calls, for sure. Yeah. Well, we definitely shouldn't get raised. That's for sure. That's ludicrous. We obviously have a fold now. Just trying to figure out the stream thing. Itch my Twitch, please, says, a guy as smart as you will always make money. You're safe, Berkey. I appreciate that, man. That's why 75% of the time I think I'll make it. But 25% of the time, I think that I find myself bankrupt. Wouldn't be the worst thing that ever happened. I mean, death would be the worst thing that ever happened, right? I can figure out my way from zero. Wouldn't be great. Wouldn't be great. I wouldn't prefer it, but I feel like I could find my way out of it. All right, we got a spot here. I'm going to get to that story, I promise. But we got some poker to play, too. I think we have a raise here. Blind versus blind in a limp pot. This is one of the hands we're going to prefer to do this with. We block some of his 9x. We have a lot of equity. Nothing bad really occurs. Fold's a good event. Just going to limp there. Killer Beast says, do you play with real money or play money? I'm on the same game, but with play money trying it out. I'm not sure what you're asking, Killer Beast. These tournaments are real money if that's what you're asking. Yeah, I agree, Alex. He says the UK is given a 3 months grace period for mortgage payments. I guess the US will follow. I think that's probably right. Not entirely certain, but that's my hunch. Real estate's tough right now, man. My house was by far my biggest asset for the last couple of years, and now it's definitely my greatest liability. It's very, very strange. Fickle market. Versus 2 opponents. I don't think we can bet here. I think we have to check back. Facing a small bet here, I think we get to call. I still think we can peel. We're never winning, but like the implied odds are so great that when we hit a 7, we just might win a stack. And there's some small fraction of a chance that it's like queen 10, 9-10 type of holdings. Oh, we beat 4s. We were in second place. We weren't going to win a stack if we hit a 7, though. That's for sure. All right. What up, Fernando from Spain? My man, Rob Lowry, what up? Nice to see you guys. Thank you so much. JC Harris, welcome to the chat. All you guys in Twitch land, thank you for tuning in. This is our first time really putting a stream out to the Twitchverse. I hope you're enjoying so far. I'm doing my best to try to tell some stories, maybe even make a deep run in something. We haven't even gotten out of the re-entry period in a single tournament yet, so we'll see what happens. Itch My Twitch, please, says, I missed the big game. Wish it could be brought back. It is being brought back. High Stakes Poker is coming back to Poker After Dark very soon. All right, back to my story then. Since we are up to about 450, the majority of you made it back. Okay, the best beat I've ever put on anybody. The lineup is me, Scott Seaver to my left, Doc Sands to his left, a player I don't remember. JRB might have been in the game. I can't recall. I'm sure he was, though. Marcus Rua to that person's left. Another player that I don't recall off the top of my head, and then myself. We are playing 300, 600, 1200, sometimes with a 2400 4 blind, re-straddle, I guess. In this particular hand, Scott Seaver, under the gun, opens to 3,000, I believe. Doc Sands flats the 3,000, under the gun 1. Marcus Rua, 13,000 on the button. And Marcus plays a lot of hands. All the hands. Very aggressively. This is 2015-ish. Very, very, very aggressive player. I'm in the big blind with Queen Jack of Hearts. I elect to 4-bet to 30,000. Seaver is about 300K effective. So is Doc Sands. Marcus and myself, $800,000 effective between the two of us. Of course, he covers, as he tends to do. I make it 30,000. Folds back to Marcus. He peels. So now the pot is $66,000. Flop. Let me get this right. Queen. Yes. Queen 10-8 with 2 spades and a heart. Okay. Queen 10-8, 2 spades and a heart. I flop top pair, backdoor flush draw, etc., etc. I bet 50,000. Marcus calls. Now the pot, 180,000. We now have 650,000 behind, give or take. Turn, 9 of hearts. So I now have a straight. King Jack beats me. And I also have a redraw to the hearts. I check. Do I check? No, I bet. So the pot is 180,000. I bet 75,000. Marcus makes it 200,000. I smash. He tank calls. And I go once or twice. And he goes, twice is fine. We don't show each other our hands, right? That's very important. It's very critical to know that part because that would have changed the outcome drastically. First river, 3 of hearts. And I go, pretty sure that's me. Second river, brick. And I go, I don't know who that is. Table my hand, queen jack of hearts. So I have a flush up top and then I have a straight on the bottom. He tables his hand, jack 5 of spades, for a straight on top and a straight on the bottom. I 3/4 him in a $1.7 million pot. So I effectively win. I win like I win like a $1.4 million pot here, just because we didn't turn our hands over on the turn. Had we tabled our hands, it would have been very clear that we're both 50-50 in equity, and we would have just chopped right then and there. You know what I mean? Come on, queen. This was all in pre, blind versus blind. No bueno. His call's fine. It's just annoying. We are getting short. There is 5 minutes left of re-entry. We're going to be all in pretty much every hand until re-entry closes. Oh, man. Brutal. Seaver's the best. He's one of my favorite people, man. He's very intelligent. He's very witty. He's very much a live guy, too. Like, he just doesn't... I don't know, man. His demeanor, his exchanges, they're all very lively, which I really enjoy. Nah, Garrett, this one's pretty bad equity-wise. Not in the sense that like I came way from behind, but more so in the sense that we were literally 50-50 and would have just chopped had we tabled each other's hands. Wait, what? Oh, I see what you're saying. Alex Hart says, "Hey Berkey, have you been following the Galfond challenge?" I have. I'm very much enjoying it. Yo, there's an account on YouTube called Dictionary of Berkey. And it just takes terms that I say and then defines them. So the last one is fickle. Changing frequently. Wait, I lost it. Changing frequently, especially as regards one's loyalty, interest, or affection. You should follow this, Jen. You'll learn a lot. All right, we have a spot here against Pollux, who put that beat on us with 6s earlier. We're just going to be all in. If she's as light as she was earlier, she's going to be light again here. Yep, she is. She overvalues these pairs for sure. 10 ace queen. Punish. No punishment. We get wrecked. Here we get wrecked as well unless we find a 5. Very frustrating. We'll be re-entering everything. Why did they do it to me? Why did they do it to me? I I literally just rebuyed in all 3 tournaments at once. It's incredible. That's aggro. Getting in 6,000 with 8s at 75 150. So we're gonna make a note on Pollux. Apparently she's one of the big grinders on this site. I think she won Player of the Year last year, or whatever their leaderboard is. But we're gonna give it a quick note. Drastically overplays pocket pairs. Well, let's say medium pocket pairs. 5 betting 6s, very aggro, very aggro. Oopsie. Yeah, fair. Oops. Oh no. Oh no, we timed out with a good hand. Whoops. God, why do I keep doing that? Sorry, that was a long note. All right, blind versus blind. We're all in. Re-entry's over, so we need to win. We're ahead. Still ahead. Put a club up there. Hey, our first all-in and a win. Feels good. Feels real good. Gotta tell you. Feels real nice. This is weird. We're gonna have to fold. All right, we got life in the 500. It's good news. 17 big blinds in a dream. Thomas Label says thanks or congrats on 20,000, Berkey. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, Thomas. Hope you're one of the 20,000. Galfine has been exposed. I feel like you're not watching the challenge, Poker Pro, Eric. Gotta tell you, man. Yeah, the greatest? He's been exposed, all right. This 4-max is out of control. Sub 20 versus a button open. I think we're just all in here. Well, that's unfortunate. We're going to get turned dead. What are you guys talking about? Oh, the Jack 5. Yo, you don't know Marcus, man. He's special. He's special. You guys saying that something shady with Galfon is insane. The guy lost $950,000 straight. Like, what do you think is occurring? Grow up. Hey, Berkey, can you please tell us details of homeschool? I would be happy to, Ben. Give me a moment, as I'm in a bunch of hands, but very soon I will give you those details. We flop bottom set here. Pretty good board to do so. I'm going to go ahead and... Actually, I'm just going to try to check rip. We only have 2 SPR. This is not a board to down bet. Very strange approach here for our opponent. I'm actually more inclined to just call now. Made quads. That's nice. It's a good bluff card for his range as well. We're going to open rip. He shouldn't have any nothing, so some of his king X and ace X will call. There it is. We get the dub. Down here now we have kings after losing a pot with ace king the hand prior. Sup, AD Rock? Good to see you, my man. Adnan says, do you think we will have a WSOP this year? I do, but I think it'll be in like October, personally. That's my personal expectation. We're going to size up a little bit on this texture. A lot of continues from the big blind here. Deuce of clubs is nice. Frees up queen X of clubs and 5X of clubs. I think we get to go pretty big here. 15 would set us up a little more than a pot size shove. So I think I want to go a little bit bigger even. Let's go almost pot. Ernesto, please, why don't you tell us about Phil Gelfond's leaks? I would love to know what kind of insight you have on PLO that Gelfond himself doesn't personally have. Here we have kings again, the 500, right when we need them the most. I'm all for like public banter and scrutiny and some sort of like debate. But, bro, you don't know anything about Gelfond's game compared to Gelfond. God, getting a walk there is painful. You know, it's just reasonable that he actually has an edge versus Veni Vidi. Or it's reasonable that they're pretty close to even and variance is dictating the match. Or it's even reasonable that Veni Vidi has an edge but is now on the downturn of negative variance. All of these things are quite reasonable. What's unreasonable is for you to think that Phil Gelfond has very obvious and apparent heads-up PLO leaks. He could have them. You just wouldn't know it. That I promise. Oh, shout out to Polex, who's watching the stream. She said that I 5-bet the 6-6 because the small blind was out and it looked like my raise was just for the big blind. That's probably the reverse thinking of what should actually occur there. So since she's watching, I'm not gonna type it in the chat. But that's probably the inverse of like what you should be thinking there. Because there's no small blind and there's no ante, I'm heavily disincentivized to be 3-betting and under the gun open there. So my range should be super tight. Like if you watch it on the video, I was actually strongly considering just calling with aces for the reason of just looking like I had what I had. Whoops. Ah, man, these table switches. Let's see. We got a small bet here. Somebody said they love the chat but hate Leroy. They can go fuck themselves. Heart. Okay. Yeah, anyway, the whole Gelfond thing, like, come on, man. Catch up with it. What's done in the dark says, I'm playing online now as a live player and it's not the same. What do you think about transitioning to online as a 2-5 player trying to play 50 cent a dollar or 1-2? I think you're drawing pretty close to dead at 1-2. No offense. I don't know enough about you. I just know that that's not the proper correlation. If you're winning at 2-5 at say like 4 or 5 big blinds per hour, I think that you're probably winning at 4 or 5 big blinds per 100 at like 10 cent, 25 cent, maybe 25 cent, 50 cent. And probably not above. So if I were you, I would just try to scale by adding tables. If you find that you have a decline in your win rate by adding more than like say 4 tables or 5 tables or 6 tables, whatever the case may be, then maybe you could start trying to figure out ways to scale by playing slightly higher at fewer tables. But it's just tough, man. You have to recognize that in these online streets, everybody is strictly playing their ranges very mechanically, right? It's not live, where you have this time onus over you that forces you to take every single spot as you see fit, right? So in the live realm, we can recognize that a play by theory is maybe negative EV in a vacuum, but because John the truck driver opened this spot, it becomes plus EV because he's just way too wide, right? We don't have that luxury online, so it's literally about having well-constructed strategies, well-constructed ranges, putting yourself in a situation where you are basically going to be able to just mechanically employ over and over and over and over again. Since that's the case, I think that you have to scale way down and retool your entire game. Maybe check out homeschool. There was a question about homeschool. I was in too many hands, but now I'm out of all hands because we're on break. So going back to who asked that question? Let's see. Whatever. I don't remember who it was. Shout out to whoever it was. I appreciate you. Oh, there it is. Ben Pratt's. Can you tell us about homeschool? Sure. Homeschool is a course that will help you precisely with that process of transitioning from an anecdotal, in the moment type of strategy to one that is all-encompassing, that covers all bases and can be mechanically employed over and over and over again, regardless of environment, right? So homeschool is a curriculum that's built off the first principles of game theory and no limit hold'em. We're going to talk about all of the underlying math that drives this game, the pot odds model, equity, EV, all of these very critical things that every one of you in the chat loosely understands, but you don't have intimate knowledge on. It's time to step up your game. It's time to get to a point where you can teach this stuff to other people at a very deep level. I had an argument with a couple other coaches. They were just private coaches who do a lot of one-on-ones. I actually don't even know them personally, but I got tagged into a debate, and I felt the need to kind of call it out publicly because I think it's unintentional bad acting, right? We got into this huge debate where they were criticizing one of our students, Chris Konvalinka, who was posting his notes from coaching sessions that he had. And it talked about introducing the pot odds model, introducing 4-bet ranges, constructing, c-betting strategies and things of that nature. And this guy who was a coach basically said, like, no one-on-one coach should be teaching these things. They should already be known by any student before they even seek out coaching, basically reducing the importance of these actual topics, right? And for me, it was just like, okay, well, even you as a coach don't have a very good knowledge of what the pot odds model is. Most people think it's as simple as the pot is laying me a price, so I need X amount of equity to continue. And that's only true if all cards are exposed. We could then look at what our hand is, what the board texture is, and what our opponent's hand is, measure the equities, and say, okay, I have enough equity to call or I don't. But we don't have that luxury because it's a game of imperfect information. So we're actually operating in the theoretical realm. And we have to be examining now millions upon millions of iterative type of dissections from a range versus range analysis standpoint. So if we went through it by hand, we would say, does this hand have enough equity versus hand number 1 in my opponent's range, hand number 2 in my opponent's range, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way down to the final hand that he could possibly have in his range when betting. And then we would take the average of all of that and say, now does my hand have enough equity versus the average of that range? Once we arrive at a conclusion there, then we can decide what action is best between calling, folding, and raising, right? that's really complex. So we want to teach to you ways to study that off the felt so it becomes ingrained in you and you start thinking in terms of EV when you're at the table. This is also very critical whenever you're transitioning to online because, like I said, you don't have those live exploits to prey upon anymore. You don't have the ability to just look someone in the face and say, he's incapable of bluffing in this spot, or he's incapable of having thin value for this size. He must not have it, yada, 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 right? That's why the majority of live players fail when they transition to online. So homeschool is effectively an attempt at tackling that. We will be lecturing on Mondays and Wednesdays. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we'll be doing solver labs. Matt Hunt will be leading the discussion there. He'll be demonstrating to you how to use simple solves like simple pre-flop, simple post-flop, and how to navigate through those game trees in a discernible way so that you'll be able to study on your own time once the course is over. And then every Friday, we're going to do a review session where we go over a worksheet that we give to everybody and attempt to kind of like tie it all into kinesthetic knowledge, right? So we'll have some hands-on approaches, basically. We'll also have, we'll reserve the end of the class for Q&A, so no questions go unanswered throughout the course of each week. If you're interested, head to s4yacademy.com, click on the shop. You'll see homeschooling there. It's $2,000 for about 60 hours worth of coaching, so you're paying about $33 an hour. Not a bad gig. Not a bad gig. All right, we are going to be, I think, all in here. Yeah, we're going to rip it. This lead into the aggressor doesn't make much sense. It's mostly draws, I think, or bad tens. And we hold, I think. Let me look at that again. Does he have a straight yet? Nope, nope. Okay, we win. Okay, good. Okay, good. Dan Man says, Berkey, I love all the content you put out. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, my man. Thank you for joining us in the stream. Here versus Jets fan. This is close. This is very close. Suited, we would have been all in already. I think we just peel. I think we're ahead of enough of his range to call. I think it's too light to shove. Our stack just matters too much. There's still 30 or 42 people left. We still have to like really navigate these spots closely. He kind of gets the C-bet 100 here. I expect something like 22. Ooh. Okay, we pick up a gut shot. Our ace high is sometimes best. We can't really call. I think a small bet functions incredibly well here. We just have range advantage as a whole. He'll fold some hands. It's tough, though. We're really leaning on him having king, queen, king, jack. Hands that turn poorly. Ace, jack, ace, queen, maybe. He still might even call those one. Nice to get that one through. Very nice. High stakes, no limit, killing me right now, playing 10-20, and in the last 15 minutes, I've lost ace queen off versus nines, flop flush versus aces, kings versus queen 10 for a stack each. Variance is a bitch and a half. Bro, at least you're playing high stakes, man. That's something to be proud of. You'll get it back. I assume if you're playing 10-20, you're good enough to be playing 10-20. I'm counting on you to grind it back. Keep your mental fortitude. Stay the course. Just know it's a volume game. You're in great shape, my man. You can do this. Graham Hamilton, let's go. Lucas says, most I suffered through was 5 buy-ins. 30 is dangerously depressive. Shout out to those guys who can battle back. Bro, if the most you've ever been down is 5 buy-ins, you are one of the lucky ones. I've been down 5 buy-ins in a session. Easy. Many times. Many times. Playing uncapped games is just the nature of the beast. Shane Pike says, I'm convinced that homeschool's the way to go. Thanks, man. I hope to see you there. All right, we have a bit of a predicament here. We see bet flop, got called in both spots. We're really deep here, 3 SPR. I think we have a natural check back, actually. despite the fact that we are up against at least one flush draw. We're also going to be up against some 4-5 here from center fielder. We do block that, however. That does kind of incentivize me to bet a little bit more often. Ace 3, Ace 2 shouldn't be really check raising since I do have full Ace Jack. All right, I'm going to go for it here. We get to tax his Jack X. We get to tax his flush draws. I don't think we get check raised really ever. If homeschool doesn't work, I'm convinced I'm just bad. Did upswing, went from losing 6 big blinds an hour to winning 4.5. Why don't I win more? Bro, that's a huge, huge, huge jump. You should be proud of yourself. That's really speaking to your wherewithal and ability to study, to make that sort of improvement. Don't think of it as only winning 4.5 big blinds per hour. Think of it as winning 10.5 big blinds, right? You were losing 6. Now you're winning 4.5. That's massive. Congrats. Be proud of yourself. Pat yourself on the back for some wins, man. 4.5 is a big win rate. Maybe up the tables. Oh, still. I mean, that's still an okay win rate for live. Shout out my man Caleb, the Poker Odyssey. Says this is why S4Y is the GOAT company. I love the loyalty, man. Honestly, one of the most genuine people I've met. So happy to have gone to Austin to make his acquaintance. Lily said, Ace says, you should always learn from the best in the game if you can. That's what he would do in Fortnite. Real talk from the kid. Shout out my man Ace. He knows what's up. Berkey, do you think the NFL and college football will have a season this year? I do. I think if any of the major sports is likely to, quote-unquote, cross the picket line of sorts, it's the NFL. They just love money way too much to sit one out, man. Way too much. Sorry to hear you lost your job, Joseph. If it's any consolation, we effectively lost ours too. We can't run academies. We have to kind of not close shop, but scale way back. For those of you who weren't here for the early portion of the stream, I kind of divulged our plan moving forward. Beginning May 1st, we're reducing the cost of S4Y TV to $9.99. We want everybody to have availability to it during these rough times. You're going to have the full back catalog, including 4 seasons of Poker Out Loud. But we're going to stop making courses for the time being. We are... Oh, hello. Hello. We opened off 20. Flop middle set. We're going to go small here. Try to get some backdoor hands to peel. Maybe even check raise some of the time. No dice. No dice. Painful when it doesn't work. Nice to pick that one up, though. Yeah, we're going to scale back to $9.99, $9.99 instead of $125. We're going to stop making courses for the time being. We're going to cut our production value a bit. We're going to reduce our release schedule from once daily to once weekly. So the content's going to come out a little less often, but we're not going to give any less of an effort. Let's go. Put a heart up there. All right, that one's dead. Haven't been running especially well. Not running badly, though. Can't really complain so much. And yeah, we're going to keep it that way for the foreseeable future. The hope is that we can offer enough value to you guys as a community that you'll want to stick by us whenever we reemerge on the other side of this COVID economic nightmare. This is a cool spot. We check call flop. Check, check, turn. He does have flushes for sure. We're going to block bet. I think we can bet call. pretty annoying. That's a huge raise, too. That's my girl, Lauren Roberts. Shout out, Miss Roberts. I feel like we got flush over flush here. I really do. It would be King Jack of Spades that would do this. Could also be King Queen with the King of Spades. I don't think we have a choice. We're just going to have to pay this one off. Ooh, getting thin. Getting a little thin versus that block bet, Lauren. Getting a little thin there. I respect it. I respect it. Hopefully, if for Pollux, who's watching at home, hopefully she didn't take any offense to my critique of the 6-6. I understand her logic. We discussed this a little bit earlier. Just popped back in my mind because I was on that table and she's no longer there. Hopefully she's still watching the stream and enjoying it. Also, congratulations on your big victory, winning the Player of the Year on WSOP Online last year. It's a noble feat. One that only a grinder can pull off. Here with pocket 7s and 15 bigs, we're just going to be all in. Not a fun spot. Not the worst spot. It's a pretty good hand. We would prefer to just pick up the blinds. Pure Reason's quite tight. We don't want him to call. That's for sure. Boom 81 Boom can call a little bit wider. We would expect most ace high here. King Queen type hands to call. Probably, I don't know if he calls with 2s, 3s, and 4s, but definitely 5s and 6s. Would like to see some like ace 5 calls here. Pure is definitely on the tighter side. I feel like he's in that 5s, 6s range right now that he's tanking. Maybe ace 10. Let's go. That's wide. Let's go. Deuce. All right. That's not a call. That is not a call versus a 15 blind shove. I don't know what he's doing. I expect him to be way more disciplined than that from what I've known playing with him. Although he seems to be the alter ego type. I played with him live. Actually, I didn't play with him live. I watched him play live in a game that I wasn't in. And he was a madman. And then I played with him online, and he's just like hunkered down, playing top of range. He has a set every fucking time I play a pot against him. That's the first non-set hand I've ever played against him. Shocking, I won. Hey, he's a lawyer. He got all the money. He saw a bunch of baby dicks playing in that game. He was like, I'll just out-gamble him. Trabendo Days says, I was at your S4Y tournament at TCH. What did you guys get to do in Austin? Honestly, not enough. I wish I would have known we were coming back to a quarantine because I would have stayed in Austin like another 4 days. I rushed back because we had a planned stream with Run It Up where we were going to do 1025 the next day. And by the time I got back, we had canceled everything. So it was pretty depressing, to be honest. I would have liked to have stayed longer. We had a float house on Lake Travis that just seemed so great. I didn't get to enjoy it at all. We were there for 2 days. It rained both days. Pretty brutal. I'm dying to come back. Please, please, if you go to Texas Card House, just sing our praises. Tell them how amazing it was to have us there and to get us back ASAP. As soon as this ban is lifted, that's the first place I want to go, honestly. Austin seemed really great. I just didn't get a chance to explore. Where are my 2 dogs? They're at my house. I'm at the S4Y headquarters right now, so we're at the office. Rocking out. Zachary says, Berkey, please shout out Dan Chuprun. He's your biggest fan. My man, Dan! Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate the support. Thank you for being a fan. Shout out to you, my man. Let me know where you're from. Let me know what you're into. Hopefully you like and subscribe. Guys, for those of you who are new, those of you on Twitch, we appreciate you checking us out. We appreciate Bill for letting us take over the Thirst Lounge today. If you haven't already, please follow us on S4Y Academy on Instagram. We're trying to get the swipe up feature. We're still about 1,300 followers away. We're growing too slowly. I beg of you. We put out good content, man. Head over to Instagram. Hit that follow button. At least for like a week. You can unfollow us after that. I promise we'll make it worth your while. Preston says, do you plan on bringing back a version of Results May Vary, or is the vlogcast the substitute for that? Was that one of your favorite projects? By far one of my favorite projects for sure. I'm super excited to work with Pigtails again in the future. We just haven't really been able to afford the, to allocate the resources towards it. We've been trying to grow at a pretty rapid pace. And now with this whole shutdown, it's really taxed our bottom line. So we've really had to make a lot of cutbacks. But yeah, we are going to have some projects in the work. It might not be exactly Results May Vary, but we'll be doing some stuff with it. We have a poker mockumentary that we've been dying to get off the ground for a long time. The Pigtails crew are a comedy crew first and foremost. So obviously everything they do for us just turns to gold. They wrote the Doug Polk retired Matt Berkey skit. They were in charge of the entire Results May Vary vlogcast or vlogumentary, I guess we called it. They were also the ones who filmed and produced Dead Money, as well as this new documentary that will be coming out on Poker Go and S4Y TV, which you'll be getting for $9.99 starting May 1st, called To Be Determined. That'll be one of the big selling points once that comes out. Be nice to give you guys that on the cheap. Berkey, what's your thought on grinding ACR tournaments on Sundays? There's probably value there, man. Enter at your own risk. I respect it. Hey, Berkey, what are your thoughts on rebuy tournaments versus single entry? No rebuy tournaments. Which do you prefer? I don't care. Makes no difference to me whatsoever. Oh, this is a gross spot. 10 big blinds? Oh, man. All right, I'm going to fold. I'm going to do the discipline thing and fold. I don't care, as long as I know ahead of time. Effectively, you just budget accordingly. It shouldn't really affect your strategy very much. Just, it makes the face value of the tournament probably go up in cost. So if it's a, say, 500 reentry, it's probably closer to like a $1,500 buy-in than it is a $500 buy-in. Down the road. Would you recommend starting to try to make it as a pro these days? Even seems you guys are moving away from playing. I mean, we're not moving away that much. I've been in the game for 17 years. It's hard to keep putting in 2,000 hours. That wasn't what I got into this for. I'm right where I want to be, to be honest. I've been trying to scale back my hours every year since I started. That's the dream, right? We want to be able to have independence and luxury attached to our lifestyle. This is a tricky spot. I think we have a raise call versus the blinds and a fold versus anybody else. Did you consider shoving the 10-7 of spades or just calling for that size? There's no reason to shove. Ay, this guy, man. This guy. I could have open ripped that hand, but it's a little reckless. Check raise Charles says size. Size what? I'm guessing there's another... Oh, okay. Sorry. You asked that question. It was only like 1,500 more to shove, and I'm just cooled off there enough where I don't think it's really worth it. I guess you could make the case that like every time she has worse, she has to call as well, but we're not really making many chips by sticking in the remainder there. This 500 is turning into quite the turbo. We're 19 of 30 with sub 20 big blinds. Oh, I don't have it up, do I? Oops. Yeah, I do. Sorry. I just don't have a hand. The thing is that like no, she really shouldn't have a river raising range there, and that's the biggest problem that we run into. It should only be the nuts, but she just doesn't have a lot of combos with the nuts, so it's kind of like meh. Yeah, you're definitely going to get called by worse. That's not really the question. It's just more so of like, it's so hard to predict what that range is that raises river. Like it should have, if there's a raising range, it should have just been all in. Leaving 1500 behind is just awkward. Cake Sesh says, so if I'm signed up for S4Y TV now, April will be 125, May will be 999. Yes, and I understand that incentivizes you to cancel and then resubscribe. Do whatever's best for you, man. I'm not going to beg for, I guess, like, I don't even know what the word would be. But, yeah, I mean, like, you know, if you feel like that's your best approach, then by all means, go ahead. I think it's completely reasonable. We just have a reshove here against John. Our hand's way too good. And, of course, we run into it. We're going to need a queen, or that's going to be the day for the 5K, or 500. Very, very unfortunate run for us. Man down. Man down. Man, that's crushing. All right. We got 2 babies left. We're protecting them with all our might. Not going to reg anything else. Don't mind a little bit of a shorter stream today since I haven't had sleep in a week. Man, that is crazy. Just ace king versus ace queen. Cut off versus big blind, huh? Cool. That's cool. I think we limp get it in here somehow if possible. That's frustrating, but okay. I think we could check raise here, but without the heart, I think it's more prudent to just bet. That's prudent for you, Berkey's dictionary, if you'd like to define that. 10 of clubs is okay card for us. I think we can start checking. Queen of hearts sucks. We could block bet. I think we can just check call, though. Do I live by myself? No, I have roommates. Christian lives with me, Conrad, Corey, and our favorite Joanne. Ay, ay, ay. Bet that on the turn, man. What are you floating for? You peel a gut shot, you just check? Why? Queen high's not good? Come on. Where do they find these guys? Where do they find these guys? 30 blinds deep. We'll have a 3-bet range here, no problem. So we'll make it on the smaller side. Why do you assume other players playing 5-10 or tournaments have your thought process or anywhere near your thought process when deciding what to do with hands? I don't. I don't assume that at all. I assume that they don't have my thought process. I use their mechanics against them. When people choose the wrong size, when people have actions that don't align with theory, then I just default back to what they're supposed to do and then try to figure out what hands would ever disobey their incentives. All the pigtail stuff was great, Peter. They're the best. There's no doubt about that in my mind. I can't wait for them to be putting out more stuff for us. I want to just clean sweep the poker awards one of these years when it comes to poker media. What about an add-on strat? Do you always add on when asked? What if you're the chip leader and only gives you an extra 8 bigs? I haven't really done the math. I'm sure that there is a certain stack depth where it doesn't make sense to add on. I just tend to always do it. But that's because any add-on tournaments I play are very small. But yeah, there's definitely a point of diminishing returns where it's just not worth it. Daniel says, I shared your stream with the peeps at Poker for Breakfast. It's our non-drama Facebook group. Thanks for the great content. I appreciate you, Daniel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for sharing our stream. Shout out to everybody at Poker for Breakfast. You guys are getting after it. I appreciate that. Jean-Robert Belland. What about him? Andrew Roble, what about him? Oh, Roble stories? You want stories about them? Okay. I don't know if I have a great Roble story. Let me think. Let me think a little bit about the Roble story. I told a good JRB story the other day where he showed me quite the level of grace. Let me think if I can think of a good steamed up JRB story. Those are always incredible. I mean, I have like a JRB Robo story combined. I'm not sure if it's fit for air though. I know that that's a terrible lead-in. I'm just trying to be mindful of their privacy. We have a check raise here, I think. Hand's pretty strong. We could just check call, but I don't really think he necessarily barrels off, and the board gets bad pretty quickly. We just want to go big, try to play for stacks. Ay, 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 ay. Less than 20 bigs. We're just all in. Are you on the new high stakes show? No idea. We have no idea if or when that show's even going to run. I'll try to get on there. I'll need to sell some action. Berkey's still in the chat. I'm going to need a little bit of Bill Perkins money to get on that show. I've been on my own for about a year, almost a year to the day now. So I'm not well rolled enough to be playing 501k on my own. I'm more like 50, 100. Maybe a little bit less now that that shit's starting to hit the fan. We'll see. I don't know. Been playing a lot of 25, 50, 100 lately this year. Have about, by a lot, I've played like 10 sessions. Soto, where the baddies at? Austin. Yeah, Austin. Would Soto beat Dwan, though? Yeah, Christian's too disciplined to lose to Tom Dwan. Chin has an edge against guys like me and Dwan and action givers. You know, Chin's a little bit of a chiseler at heart, like especially when he's playing too big.
When I'm playing big, I play tight.
Yeah, he's a chiseler whenever he's playing too big. You know, it's unknown maybe. He just throws the headphones on and pretends like no one else exists.
I get action off your name.
Yeah. Club would be nice here. Club would be real nice. King would be okay. King's okay. King of Diamonds, not the best, but I think we can go. We miss clubs here a lot. So does he. He does have 6, 7, and full. He has more 4x than us. We're really just targeting an 8. All right, I'm going to check back. Wow, he shut down the 9 high. That's really a good card for him to bet. Cake says, no S4Y. I'm in for April for sure. Are you referring to homeschool? If so, can't wait to see you there, my man. Can't wait to see you. Do you think you're giving up EV by streaming? Almost certainly. I imagine it's contributing to me getting wrecked in the 510 streets, for sure. King 5 off. We'll limp this one. Are you going to play stream tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow will be a big slate. Huge Sunday on WSOP tomorrow. We're going to check here. We have the best hand a lot. Why are you guys talking about Apostle so much? How could you even remotely care at this point? Still thinking of a good JRB story. Robo stories are tough, man. I don't. Robo's just there, you know. All right. Actually, I do have a really good Robo story. Oh man, I forgot about this. I bring this one up to him as much as I humanly can because the pain he suffered through that day was very impressive. We're gonna check this one back. Have a lot of showdown value. This is more of a range card for us than him. We get to start betting, though he will have a fair amount of equity. He'll also just have us beaten sometimes, but we need to protect against his Queen X, which gets there. We could consider turning our hand into a bluff now. We can get hands like 10-8 to fold. We can get hands like... Well, I guess we're just getting 10x to fold, really. I'm going to check back. I would bluff a 5, not a 10. We're definitely not getting 9-10 to fold. Okay, so the Roble story. We were playing 3-6-12 one night. The game was wild. Myself, Roble, and this oil tycoon, Henry, all had $1 million in front of us. Let's pause that for a second as I pick up aces. And scoop the blinds. That's sad. Whoops. All right, we're 3-betting the king 5 off here versus center fielder. This is a little aggro, but you got to work in some of these dangler type hands that don't really have much post-flop playability, but also are likely to be best in a blind versus blind scenario. Low frequency 3-bet, but we find it anyway. Not going to go off. Not really a candidate to do so on this texture. We have a clear check back. Jack's pretty bad. Would like to see a king, an ace, a 5, a 6 on the turn. Not really a card we can bet. King will save us on the river some of the time. Let's find out how often. I think we have a very clear value bet here. We'd be betting with a lot of our range, so we don't need to go big. We'll have a lot of bluffs. We'll also have a lot of value. Something in the neighborhood of 2,800 feels pretty good. About third pot. Check raise here feels real bad. All right, we pick up the kingers here on the other table. Getting a lot of action. Potential for a squeeze. Doesn't happen. 8-8 deuce. Good board for us to just check. Not the worst scenario here. We're going to have a check call, I think. We're pretty wide through this line. 9 is a good card for us. Well, really a good card for him. Six to finish it off. I think we just have a block bet here. Looks like we have some king high that may have missed. Some ace high that's just trying to show down. 6K in the middle. Let's go 1750. Not a lot of value to extract here. I mean, he's going to have like ace high a lot, some 9x. We're just going to win it. Here we open the button. Pretty standard c-bet spot. Peels the 5 of clubs. This is a really, really big range card for us. We're going to follow through with another bet. A lot of his backdoor hands will just be folding now. We do have a lot of flushes in range as we'll be betting most on this texture. When called, the 7 of clubs is good some of the time. We're going to find out how often. Very clear check down. I don't think we ever get value here by betting. Yeah, we lose to a flush. No shock. Thank you, Eva. Appreciate you. She said all the stuff you did with pigtails was the best. It was great. Y'all are great. Wait, sorry. I should just read it. All of the pigtail stuff y'all did was great. Thank you. We appreciate you. They appreciate you. They are the best, for sure. Lucas says, your Poker Out Loud sessions are so savage, Chin. I enjoy the beats you put on me. Real wife needs you. Asks, are you on the new high stakes show? I don't know. I really don't know. It's a long way away. What are the hours scheduled for homeschool? Are your lectures recorded and available for later? They are. They'll be downloadable for everybody who joins the course. The hours are 5 p.m. to 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. That's Pacific time. If you can't make it, that's okay. They'll be uploaded for you to download the next day. Okay, so back to this Roble story. He, myself, and this Henry character all end up about 1 million deep. Oh, Rick Solomon's in the game also. Also sitting about 1 million deep. We're playing 300, 600, 1200. JRB's in the game. He's short stacking. He's just getting wrecked. He has like, I don't know, 60K in front of him at this point. So Robo is getting tortured by Henry. I mean, just absolutely tortured. And I'm in turn just beating Henry's brains in. So I think I was into the game for like 300K, and I'm up like 600 or 700 at this point. Robo is into the game for like, we're going to be all in here. These are weird flat spots for these guys. Let's hold. Let's hold. A little deuce. I knew it was coming, man. I thought it was going to be a queen, to be honest. Ugh. It's one of those days, man. We just don't win all ins. So Robo's just getting tortured by Henry. And Henry is like... Henry does not have the best bedside manner at the table. He's a wreck. So he enjoys the pain. He enjoys just really sticking it to people. He enjoys just everything that comes with being a winner in poker. And he hates everything about being a loser in poker. So just bear that in mind as we're discussing this, right? This hand comes up where I don't remember how deep they were. I want to say that they might have been like, I don't know, 300,000 or 400,000 effective. And we're playing 3-6-12. Whatever the case may be, I don't remember if Robo was in position or out of position. I think he was in position, though. By the river, Robo had the second nut flush. And Henry bet the river after having bet, like... I don't remember if he bet every street or if he, like, check called, and then led the river. Whatever the case was, Henry bets river, and Robo jams. And Henry just, like, starts talking to him. Right? Board's not paired. There might have been, like, a weird straight flush. Like 7-4 of clubs or whatever it was, right? So it might have been like 5-6-3 of clubs was on the ultimate run out. But, you know, it was obviously a straight flush that, like, wouldn't exist. And Henry's talking to him, and he just keeps saying, like, I know you don't have the nut flush. I know you don't have the ace high flush. You know, and, like, he's never questioning, like, what could you have? He's never saying to Robo, like, do you have, like, the king high flush, or, you know, are you doing this with a set, or anything along those lines, right? He just keeps saying, like, I know you don't have the nut flush. And we're just, like, kind of sitting here like, well, how can he know that, first of all? Because Robo should have the nuts here for sure. Hold on a sec. We got a big spot here. Do we want to be all in? 10. Yeah, let's rip it. We'll get called some of the time. Not this time, however. Very unfortunate. So this goes on for, like, you know, a minute and a half, 2 minutes, something of that nature. And Robo's not really batting an eye. Like, it's not like he looks visibly upset or anything along those lines. He's just, you know, he's chilling. It's just like he's all in. No big deal. It is what it is. And I think the river shove was for, like, I don't know, like, I remember him using a 100K chip minimum. So it was like a 6-figure shove for sure. Maybe like 150K, 200K, something of that nature. And again, like, Henry's been abusing Robo. Not in the sense that he's, like, outplaying him or anything to that effect, but just in the sense of he's had his number all night long. So finally, like, he's like, all right, I call. And Robo Robo like tables the king high flush, and Henry just rolls over the nuts. The stone fucking nuts. I've never, in 6 years of playing with Robo, I've never seen him lose his cool. He's like gotten a little flustered here and there. He's maybe shown a little bit of emotion at times, but he was so fucking angry, man. I mean, he was beside himself angry. Just so livid with this guy that he stormed out, just didn't even say like goodbye to anybody. Just like, I mean, he gave Henry like the what for, you know, just let him have it for, you're slow rolling me. Like I invite you into my game and you're slow rolling me and like all this other stuff, you know, and Henry's just enjoying the fuck out of this. Basically continually claiming that Robo could have had a straight flush. Like basically saying like, you didn't see 7-3 was a straight flush. I didn't know. All this other stuff, right? So finally Robo just leaves and goes on his way, and the game kind of calms down a little bit. And it's just one of those things where like so like Robo's backing JRB, and JRB's like getting the text messages and stuff. Like basically he's miserable too. He has like 30,000 in front of him or something, like some little tiny nub. And he's just like, I think you might have retired Robo, Henry. I think that's going to do it. I think you finally put the kid to bed. He's had enough. He's just not going to play poker any longer. So that was the only time I've seen Andrew Robo get flustered in any sort of capacity. It was a very good night for me. It was such a good night for me that I ended up playing Henry heads up for 2 hands. So it's 7 o'clock in the morning. The game had finally broken. We were 1.5 million effective each. I was up like $800,000 or something to that effect. And he goes, do you want to play heads up? And I'm like, sure. So we played like at most a half hour. And in that half hour, he had limped ace queen from the button twice. And once I saw that, I was just like, oh man, you're just trying to cool me off. Like you have no interest in playing. We're playing 501k, 1,500 big blinds deep, and you don't even want to raise ace queen pre. I was like, I'm sorry, Henry. Like you obviously don't want the action. I'm just going to quit. And everybody was like, how could you quit this guy heads up? It's like, well, I've been playing for 14 hours. And this guy doesn't have any interest in giving action right now. He's literally just sitting here trying to win a 3,000 big blind cooler. Like, I'm good. I'm good, man. Like, he's not giving up that much EV. I'm not going to beat him down with some, like, advanced high stakes heads up strategy when I can't even keep my fucking eyes open. All right, fun spot here, blind versus blind. 23 bigs effective. I think we make it look like we have a raise fold. Hopefully we get ripped on here. That's unfortunate. What up, bot lady? Good to see you here. A famed streamer in her own right. Thank you for stopping by. We appreciate you. We're going to pass. We're going to pass on that one. The irony that Lily says, I think I'm the only girl here that's not a bot. And bot lady is, in fact, not a bot. Do you have any Phil Ivey stories? I really don't. I've only played with him once, and it was very brief at the World Series. We were playing a 1,500 ante-only event. I didn't last very long with him at his table. Or actually, he didn't last very long at my table. Yo, Lily's humor is dark. Trying to save the day here. Four-handed 10K. We're 40 of 54. Not sure how many pay. I haven't looked. Oh, 30. We're getting pretty close to the bubble here. Flop bottom pair. 8 is not a great card here. He'll have some Jack 10 in his opening range, especially four-handed. We've just been quietly, peacefully grinding over here. Facing half pot, I actually think we just get to fold our hands. Poker Pro Eric says, how many years did it take for you to get used to losing over 6-figure pots and such? Couldn't have been easy at first. I adapted pretty well, pretty quickly. Can we be all in here? Where are we at? Oh, all in. What am I talking about? We're 50 bigs deep. Okay, we got a call here. Pretty deep. For some reason, I thought this tournament was much further along. Oh, I don't even have the right table up. Sorry about that. Loose call, 4.5x. But we're crazy deep, 50 bigs effective. Yeah, I grew accustomed to losing those big pots pretty quickly. I mean, I was smart enough to insure my risk. So I took on a backing crew so that I wasn't overextended in the game. I felt like I could play pretty well. I honestly entered the high stakes arena and treated it as if I was playing low stakes poker, in the sense that I didn't really fear pulling triggers. So yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where, as a professional poker player, the size of the pot, monetarily speaking, doesn't matter that much. All that really matters is your relative risk. And it's the pots where you're risking, your net worth that stand out to you. There are way more emotional pots that I played that were only 5 to 10K effective. Sorry, not effective. 5 to 10K in total than pots that I've played that are 6 or 7 figures. Do your best. We're peaking now. 700 of you watching on YouTube. 160 of you watching on Twitch. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for stopping by to our takeover of the Thirst Lounge. I appreciate each and every one of you. Appreciate a little bit of the crossover to the Bill Perkins audience over there in the Twitch sphere. We don't have much of a following there at the S4Y Twitch channel. I don't know Henry's last name. He's Henry the Oil Tycoon. That's all I know, man. I don't catch last names. What up, James Kelly? Shout out from Pittsburgh. I see you, man. I'm envious of you. I wish I was at home right now. You've been playing on... Have you been playing online at all in Pittsburgh? What's the landscape look like over there? We haven't had much going, guys. Not much going at all. We're getting wrecked. Absolutely wrecked. May have to hop in this Hundo Turbo. It's looking pretty nice. How much re-entry time's left? Oh, 8 minutes. Yeah, we're going to hop in there. Bro, reset your password. Come on, dude. All right, we hopped in this $100 10K turbo. We're getting in here with, oh, pretty decent. Looks like about 25 big blinds. 8 minutes left to go in registration. Selner asks, Berkey, what is the site name that you were playing on? This is WSOP.com. The one and only. Wow. Shout out to all you guys buying homeschool seats. We sold 9 seats today. 2 in the last 18 minutes. Let's go. You guys are all into it. I'm into it. I'm pumped to teach you. We're going to have a call here. This is certainly a call. Let's win. Let's win. We're going to need to win. An 8 or an ace. We'll do it. I don't think we've won an all-in today. I really don't. It's been a rough one, guys. It's been a rough one. On the bubble, this is particularly brutal. We have 5.5 blinds left. Pick up kings the first hand of this turbo. Oh, we get a shove spot here also in a little reprieve, perhaps. All right, let's win a flip. Come on, baby. Ace or 7. Okay. I'm just going to call with these kings. I'm going to set up a squeeze spot. Oh, every time. The ace magnet, man. Every time. We'll check back. No reason to bet. One liner out there. Don't expect a bet out of my man. We're going to check again. We'll call any bet on this river. We'll make a bet ourselves. We can certainly get called by worse. I think we get to go a little big there. We're up to 11 blinds. Winning that flip. It's always nice. Still have life. Now down to 9 or 10 blinds. We are 11 out of the money. We're 51 of 51 with 40 cashing. Pretty brutal, baby. Need a little help. Close. I think we can fold it, though. I do not hate Garrett. He's one of my favorite people. Genuinely. Is this a 3-bet or a call? I think we just call. It's a big raise. This guy raises huge. I think we're going to check raise here. Blind versus blind. We're going to be all in. Wow. What is going on here? This guy is losing his goddamn mind. His name is true to form. I should have just ripped pre, I guess. What is going on here, man? That's crazy. I got to pay closer attention to that guy. Like, he's opening 5x, 4.5x, something like that. Yeah, almost 5x. And then just smashing for 5x pot on king 3 deuce. Smart if he only ever has good hands, I guess. He'll get paid. Tough to keep up, though. What's tipping etiquette at 300, 600? Most of the guys tip a quarter at the end of the down. I tip $5 every hand. I tend to win the majority of the hands, so I probably tip on average at least 25, maybe more. Jack deuce suited on the bubble. We are 45 of 46. This is close. Sorry, I should show you guys. Whoops. This is very close. I think we can call here. I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass. I'm just not sure enough. We're all in at folded to, of course. 45 of 45. Top 40 cash. The thing with five-handed is it'll fold to our button more, or it'll fold to us. Sorry, I should say we get more opportunities to open jam. Let me just put it that way. All right, hold. That's a good card. Ship it. We get the dub. Whoops. All right, we're on break. Cool. So we catch a double right before break. I'm just chatting a little bit with Pollux about that pocket sixes versus aces scenario where we got 5 bets in pre. All right, let me tend to the chat a little bit. Berkey, if you love Leroy Towns this much, you would do a lot of Texas country. You would love a lot of Texas country. I actually hate country music. I'm sorry. I really do. Leroy became more and more country as each album progressed. If you listen to their first 2 albums, they're very folky in nature, very like Mumford & Sons-esque. By the 3rd and 4th album, they got a lot more country. But, you know, I have a special place in my heart for Leroy, so I'll love anything that they put out. I definitely do not enjoy country music. I grew up on it. My grandparents loved it. I like Garth Brooks. That's about it. What's the story playing 100-100 at the win you told during Super High Roller Cash game last year? God, I can't possibly remember, man. I honestly don't remember. I need more details if you want to jog my memory. I gotta run to the bathroom, but I'm just trying to catch up real quick. Okay, cool. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. Oh no, we back. Uh-oh. Whoops. I just snap folded, didn't even want to. I just see an open and just like snap fold king 9 suited. That's painful. Fold was probably pretty good actually. Miles White says, we love you, Burke. Love you too. Thank you for showing up. Appreciate you guys tuning in, sticking around. Not a lot to speak of. We haven't won very many all-ins today, but we still got 3 tables left. We got 3 shots at a run. Any one of these will bail us out for the day. We're always looking for that. It's pretty loose. What is the most memorable needle you've seen during a game? Who was it, etc.? That's a good question. That's a good question. What's the most memorable needle I've seen? I don't know that I'll remember one in particular. I'm trying to think of like who the best needler in general is. Bobby Baldwin's pretty quick. He's pretty fucking quick, man. He's ugh. Oh, that's good. Well, it's not good. I would have won. God, oh no, I wouldn't have won. I would have got punished. That's nice. We are 40 of 43 on the bubble in this 4 max. Just hoping and praying. And we have an all-in spot. Oops. I'm going to figure out which table it is eventually. There it is. We all in. This is close on the bubble, but I don't really think we have a choice. He's opening any 2. Oh, come on, man. Come on. Give me a break. Put a 10 up there. 10. We bubble. We bubble because we've obviously done something very mean and wrong in a past life. Oh, we were way out of the money. Only 30 paid. That makes my shove way better. Way, 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 way better. That's good. That's good. Okay. It's a clear fold. Whoops. What's going on here? What is going on here? Okay, that's at least right. Okay, so why is it doing this? Bear with me. We had to resize. All right, there we go. Fixing some things. Okay, cool. It's the 250. Cool. All right, we're ready to rock and fire again. Garth Brooks does kill it. I should have saw him in concert when he was still here at the Wynn. Back in the day. Wow. What's going on here? Oh. Short stack all in, I see. I don't think there's any reason for us to bet here. Not a great texture. Even worse turn in a 4-way all-in spot. 5-way all-in spot. 3 would be nice. Not holding my breath. We are checking out. almost last place. Oh, man. Whoopsie. I mean, I was check folding anyway. Man, this is crazy. There are 17 2-5 no limit hold'em games going right now. 17. 17? Did I count that right? 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 full, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 that are five-handed. Or sorry, 14 full and 4 that are five-handed. What is going on here, man? Huh? All the people who are multi-tablers are just out there killing the game right now. Live 1-2 and 1-3 player. What would you recommend to grind online and what bankroll? I would suggest that you start with 10 cent, 25 cent and have about 50 to 100 buy-ins. So $2,500 would be a good place to start, I think. 35 Marlin, what up, man? Hey, Matt, glad to see you streaming. I appreciate you showing up. Glad to see you in the chat. All right, we have middle pair and nut flush draw. I think we can start betting for value here after checking through. We could easily bet 3-bet our hand. Seems a little aggro, though. Berkey, you said you hate country, but Leroy's first released album was called Country Visions. I get it. I didn't say that they didn't have a tone of country to them, but I think that they were a little bit more in the Mumford & Sons style. Whatever. I'm not about labels, man. You know, I don't know what to say. I love their fucking first album so much. Deep Country, ironically has the word country in the title, is one of my favorite songs ever. Song About Life, also fantastic. Right up there with one of the best I've ever heard. Are you friends with Bobby Baldwin's son at all? Seems like a real fun dude. I've met him a few times. Can't say that we're friends. Don't know much about him. This is a really annoying spot. We're going to have to fold. Hello, Chef David. Nice to see you here. Thanks for stopping by. Berkey, play some cash, man. There's nothing I want to play. I don't want to play 2-5. 5-10's dead. And honestly, I'm completely and utterly exhausted. I can't even explain to you how tired I am. I don't think I'm playing my best at all. I'm certainly not running my best. Bert, can you suggest me a song to listen to? Any song, any genre, first one that comes to mind. Bro, Deep Country by Leroy Towns. That's the jam. Listen to it with your girl. She's going to fucking love it. I promise you. It's going to change everything. They're going to play at my wedding someday if I ever get married. I can promise you that. That's a pre-qualifier for any potential dating prospect. She has to be into Leroy at some level. Man, I'm hungry. I should have made food that last break. It's already 9 o'clock. Goodness. Ay, ay, ay. No, I said I play the majority of the hands first step forward. I didn't say I win most of the hands. Now that you've covered tipping, what's the time rake at 300, 600? We were paying $15 a half. And we had access, yeah, it was basically free. We had access to all of Arya's restaurants, concierge service, anything you could think of. It was the true VIP treatment. Vito, what up, Berkey? How's the grind today? It's grueling, man. We're getting wrecked. I don't know if I want it all in today, but I'm happy to be here. We still have 2 sweats left. We're in the $100 turbo. There's about 74, nope, more, 132 left. We are below average, but we're still in it. And we are still in the 250. It's somehow still a re-entry period, 34 of 58. We're looking to make a move there. Hey, Berkey, what's the worst angle you've seen at the table before? Have you been angled before? I was just angled in Texas by a young man. But no, I haven't suffered too many bad angles. There's one I'll tell a story about from the WSOP in 2017 that I find to be interesting. Sorry, I have the wrong table up. I think I just fold here. I open under the gun. 1, small blind defends, big blind calls, and then small blind just leads. I block a lot of his bluffs. Just going to fold. So this wasn't an intentional angle by any stretch, but the kid definitely tried to take advantage of like ignorance, I suppose, is a good way of explaining it. So the way it worked, was we played this pot. I don't remember where he opened from, maybe cut, something like that. We were like 1 and 2 in chips in the little one for one drop on towards the end of day 1. We had piles, like 200,000 at maybe like the, I don't know, 400, 800 level or something like that. So the way this hand worked out, he opens, I flat jacks, and the board comes like Jack 9X maybe, rainbow, I believe, and he checks, and I either check or bet small. I don't recall. It doesn't matter. Anyway, we get to the turn. Turn is the Jack of Diamonds giving me quads. Or was it? Maybe the river was the Jack of Diamonds. In any regard, I end up making quads in the hand, and diamonds complete through a backdoor, where I think no, straight flush was not available. So diamonds complete through the backdoor on a paired top pair type of situation. So Jack high, diamonds run out. I have quads, so it's like Jack, Jack, X, 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 3 diamonds. And on the river, my opponent either bet small into me. I'm pretty sure he bet small into me. That's exactly what happened. So he bet small into me. And I had, when I say I had piles, I'm not trying to like low-key brag. I had all the fucking chips, man. And they're all like small denominations. So I had like, I don't know, I want to say like 4 double stacks of 1K chips, right? So like 160K in just 1K chips. And I didn't really have any big chips. So on the end, he bet something like 25 or 30,000, something to that effect, and had like 100,000 behind. And so actually he covered me, now that I recall. So maybe he bet like 40 or 50,000 on the end and had like 200,000 behind, and I have like 160 in front. So he's in the 1 seat, I'm in the 2 seat, and he has headphones on. And I say, I'm all in, dealer. Like I make it abundantly clear. I say, I'm all in. And I then proceed to start to push forward my pyramid, right? But I'm doing it like a double barrel at a time. So I'm putting out like, 80,000 at a time effectively, right? As soon as my chips move forward, he just snap tables his hand, and it's Queen 9 of diamonds. So I table my hand for quad jacks. And, I'm taking his accepted action. that I announced all in. The dealer repeated all in. He snap tabled his hand, which appears to be action. And I table my hand. And so now it becomes this thing of like, did he call or not? He's claiming he never heard the dealer say raise. He thought that that I had just called or whatever the case may be. Eventually, the floor ruling went my way. But in any event, and I'm probably getting some details wrong because it's been 3 years. I don't really recall everything off the top of my head. But in any event, it was like one of those things where this kid was legitimately pissed at me because I was trying to get him to pay the full amount. And it's like, what do you want me to do, man? Like, once you roll your hand over in a way that looks like accepted action, and I table mine as though you called me, like, I have quads. Once you see that I have quads, like, of course there's going to be a debate. What if I would have, tabled first and shown like a worse flush? You would have happily taken the pot at that point. So yeah, that wasn't like an intentional angle or anything of that sort. It was just one of those things where, it was kind of a bad event for both parties, and it kind of went pretty shitty. I didn't say I love country. I just said I like Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks is gangster. Keeps it hard. Thunder Rolls is great. I'll never switch to music, man. I won't let YouTube take our profits for anybody but Leroy. I want them to benefit from all of it. So enjoy. For now to infinity, if I'm streaming, you're going to be listening to Leroy Towns. If you want me to turn it down, I'll turn it down. But I'm not turning it off. Oh my goodness, we won an all-in. We low-key just won an all-in. Whew! And it was a flip, too. Me? Huh? I just shoved ace 10 for 15 bigs. Oh. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh. Well, good. Criticize it. You should. I criticize them. You should. Yeah, you should just say that. Jose says, hey, Berkey, who's the toughest opponent you've played against? Jungle's pretty tough. Jason Kuhn's pretty tough. Those guys are legit. Ike is tough. Robo's obviously very good. You know, exactly who you would expect. The guys that are in their mid-30s that have been studying for ages and have made their way into high stakes. They're all very good. Shocking, I know. Any thoughts on Dennis Blyden? I want a lot of money off of him. I think what he did is obviously pretty scummy, but, you know, it is what it is. Yeah. He got me out of makeup. He did. I won $1 million off of him in like 36 hours. Is Andrew Nemi streaming now? I don't know. Is he? What does YouTube say? Maybe. I think that they've been trying to work out a way to do like home games on the apps. How many students thus far for homeschool? 40. We have 40 students thus far. Hey man, it's a song about life. What casino or card room did you first start playing at? Silver Creek Casino in New York. It was in a little town called, maybe it was actually in Silver Creek, New York. Yeah, I think it was. Played 1-1 no limit there, $40 min max. Somehow beat the game. God, that hurts. Could have played a big one. And then from there, I graduated to a 5-5 game that was a 200 min-max at Salamanca, New York. From there, the game got bigger. We started playing 5-10 uncapped. I started going to Niagara Falls, playing on Seneca Niagara on the American side and Fallsview on the Canadian side. Then graduated to Turning Stone, Pittsburgh Underground games, and then moved my way out to Vegas. Oh, come on, man. They always have it. GG. We out of the turbo. Hey. That's an aggressive call. Blah. Blah. We're running out of sweats. We're down to our lone sweat. Our lone sweat. Ho, 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 every night. Well, I ain't much good at sweeping girls off their feet all the morning after. Is Grandpa Ed better than you? I think he's the best player I've ever. I don't know who Grandpa Ed is. Jericho, I've been down with some sinners in Mexico, singing songs about life. And the sadness in our eyes. Young man been running that grift since he was actually a young man. Yeah, I agree. I know, Carter. I know, man. That's why I had to call him out. Everybody in Texas was like so quick to defend him because they didn't know. One of the guys who like runs the room there is like, yo, take it easy on him. He's one of my best high stakes players. I'm like, he's a scumbag, man. He owes us like 6 figures to guys in LA. I promise you, he's not your best high stakes player. He's just waiting to stiff someone. Oh, what do we got here? I think this is good enough to open. 30 blinds deep. A little less, actually. I guess like 20 blinds versus these guys. These guys. Ay, ay, ay. It hurts. Been a lackluster Saturday. We can save it all in the 250. We got 22 more minutes of re-entry. This tournament, man. I feel like we've been in it forever. How long has it been running for? Hasn't even been running that long. It's only been running for a little less than 2 hours. Yeah, we got to check here. We have no real prospects of a hand. Good news about this tournament is half the field is already gone. Facing a button flat call here, I don't mind peeling all that much versus third pot. I don't think he has a lot of ace high. Most of that's going to c-bet. I think he has a lot of hands we dominate, like queen jack, jack 10. I think we can check call 1. The 8's a pretty bad range card for us. He will have some 8x suited that we're not going to get to continue verse. Whoa, that's silly. I feel like that's 9-10 all day. If I were more locked in, ready to rock, I think I would just snap this off and chalk it up to being 9-10. But he could just have ace-x of spades. He says, B Wild Poker says, you say 10 cent, 25 cent if I play live 1-2 and 1-3. Is that 9 max online or 6 max? I think you should play whichever of the two you're most comfortable with. Whichever one you're most confident in your range is on. Yeah, basically, it just depends where you feel like you possess your edge. Berkey, do you think you could beat... What's that word? Oh, Linus Love, a.k.a. Linus Lowinger. I don't know. Where? Live? Online? Tournament? I don't know, man. I think that elite poker players are able to adjust to any environments. But if you're asking if I could beat him heads up, no. I don't think my heads up game is particularly sharp. I don't think I'm particularly deeply studied in Heads Up No Limit, so he would be a pretty big favorite for sure. Thoughts on Garrett as a player? This is the 4th time this has been asked. I'm not going to answer it again. I love Garrett. I think he's very good, and he's one of my favorite people on earth. Any thoughts on Paul Fua? I love what he's doing with Triton Series. I think he's a very generous person. Do you know how long he went to jail? I assume you're talking about Dennis Blyden, and I don't. Google would probably be able to help you out more than me. Oh, oh man, I'm beat. Chin's gonna hop in and take over as soon as I bust this. That's not true. He's got work to do. Go get your work done, Chin. You can get on stream. Go film your high stakes hand review. You shouldn't have had to correct it much.
No, I'm writing down my thoughts so that I could.
Oh. If you need to print it, let me know. Berkey, I busted you in 2K of Brigada in like 2011. Was like my first ever live tourney. I turned a set, bet, you jammed, and I almost folded. I called and you thought I was the biggest nit ever because I tanked so long and nearly folded. I finished 3rd for like 30K. Haha. I hate you. What up, Hobokus? I wish you would have folded your set, man. I wish you would have folded your set. Jesus Christ. Yo, Burke, are you a Big Mac Miller fan or nah? Follow up, ever been to Blue Slide Park? I have never been to Blue Slide Park. I am a Big Mac Miller fan. Obviously, RIP. Donald Trump is one of my favorite songs for sure. Matt Berkey, what's a fun, great day for you? Right now? I mean, this answer would change daily, but right now, it would be me going to bed at 8 p.m., waking up at 8 a.m., and then being able to get my entire routine done by 2. Like, I'm talking wake up, cold pool, sauna, journal, workout, lunch. If I can find a 24-hour span where I get to do all of that, where I get to sleep for 12 hours, complete my entire morning routine, and come out the other side of it mid-afternoon, like ready to do whatever it is that I want to do, that would be a great day for me. Snap his ass! Let's go! Counterfeit him. Let's go. I just don't win flips, man. Guys, this has been an epic night of me not winning all-ins. That one would have been a fun one to win. We're going to be starting back over again, 15 big blinds. I don't know what happened, man. We just had 27K. Now we're all in for the last 1,000. Hi. Should have played that ace jack. That's what I should have done. You gotta tell her. Grandpa Ed is Nemi. Oh, on here? I didn't know that. Is he even at my table? Or is he just randomly getting thrown into this chat? Approximately when did you play at Turning Stone? That's where I play. It would have been 2004 to 2000. Of course, I'm going to win this one. Nope. Nope, no chance. So it would have been like 2004 to 2007. We would go there for the, what was it called? Like the Empire State Championship. Something to that effect. Yep, I'll take 10,000 more, please. My chest is tightening from the lack of all-ins won tonight. I can't breathe. I've lost my hunger, that's for sure. Berk, been watching all week in your knowledge. It still comes down to running and getting lucky a lot. Yes. Yeah, I agree, man. We just got to keep showing up, you know? Put yourself in good spots. Hey, do you know how lucky we were to make 2 final tables on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever it was? You know how many flips I won that day? I paid it forward, you know? I'm going to lose all my flips today. It's fine. It's fine, man. It's fine, you know? These days are just, they're the cost to be the boss, you know? You gotta put in some negative 3K days in order to have some plus 30K days. It's just that easy. Berkey, you ever dabble in other games, PLO or anything? I've played a very small amount of short deck, and when I was coming up, I played a lot of heads up PLO. But no, I haven't studied any other games very intently. Who's in Vegas that wants to do something tonight? I have to get out of the fucking house, man. I'm losing my mind. Shut up, Caleb. I didn't technically answer the question. I just, I moved on, you know? I've moved on. Chat, what do you think about Garrett Adelstein? Tell me. Can I get this rig to work? Nope. What she knows. I'm not playing cash tonight. I can promise you that. It's not happening. Is not happening. No chance, no way, no how. Jeff Rowland said, Christian Soto loved the stream last night. Way better than Berkey's. You know what? I agree, man. I think Christian should stream 7 days straight starting Monday. I'm all for it. I have so much stuff to catch up on. I cannot even begin to consider it all. Tomorrow is going to be a very busy day. I have to wake up tomorrow at like 7 in the morning. I have a lot to do. I got to set up our homeschool stream, get that all established. I have to solidify the slides for my first lesson. That'll definitely take all day. What else do I got to do? Flop a pair. Oy. Good luck, us. Hopefully he has queen jack or ace high. No snap. That's great. Let's go. Let's go. He says my stream's more strategy. This kid just talks about fucking candidates all day long. I'm out here telling stories, talking about pooping on a nest of TP that I made. We're all in. Good luck, us. I bet he calls with fives. Oh, I was trying to set it up. Too soon, man. Too soon, Brett. Said, guess who won the battle between Mac and Trump? Top 5 bands besides Leroy. It's a good question, man. I'll tell you what, when I was a kid, I was obsessed with music. I mean, obsessed. Like, I was the kid who every summer made a mixtape of like the hottest songs. You know, I would sit around listening to radio for hours on end and then just try to snipe them. In college, I was the first one to really like dig in deep into Napster and like start looking for like acoustic sets of bands that I really enjoyed and things like that. as I've become an adult and music's become so much more easily available, I've really lost track of it all. So like you're gonna be disappointed in whatever I say for sure, because it's gonna really lean heavily onto like that late 90s, early 2000s time frame. I was a massive Lifehouse fan. I think their first album was amazing. I think they went into heavy decline thereafter. I never really listened to any of the future albums after that. Matchbox 20 was one of my favorite groups. Again, their first album was lights out, incredible. Second one was okay. Each and every one thereafter, I feel like continually got worse. But like, you know, that late 90s, early 2000s, it was all that very poppy, whiny, emo-ish type of music, like Daughtry, and it was the American Idol era. So I don't know, it fit like where I was at in my, I guess, adolescence. Everything was about girls and sports and failure and life, and it just all seemed to fit in. Now I listen to like some more folky stuff. I like Mumford and Sons a lot. I like the Lumineers a lot. I really enjoy Ex Ambassadors, bands like that. I obviously like a lot of rap. Eminem, I'm a huge fan of. Dr. Dre, Biggie, you know, all of the GOATs. As far as new stuff goes, I like Kendrick a lot. I like, hold on. I need to play this. Is this a ring event? He should adjust the screen. You're right. Oh, what are you talking about? It's right. It says 250, 15K weekly strategy, or Saturday. What do you want from me, man? Oh, so I can see the title. I understand. It's not possible. It only captures the screen. Check back again. We're beating some hands. We're losing to some hands. You see any chance of getting more deeply into short deck play? Nope, I think that window closed for me. I actually won like 600K off stake playing high stakes short deck. We're going to lose to jacks and kings here some of the time. Also pocket nines. We're going to beat... What are we going to beat? We're going to beat queen jack. King jack. Not ace eight. Sitting pretty till you die. Are you playing cash? No. Berkey, have you studied Indian poker at any depth? No. I haven't. I haven't at all. And get... Yo, Soto Broski, is Berkey Bro playing cash right now? No. Soto, what part of Jersey are you from? Adelstein and you have battled, period. Though I never understood the random animosity towards you versus his fans. Weird. I don't know. I think we both have mutual admiration for one another. He's always been very nice and polite. He's done me favors. He's a good dude. I like battling with him. I'm sure he likes battling with me. Neither of us are ever sad to see the other in the game. I don't know anything about Postle. I don't know anything at all. Can you sleep for 12 hours straight easily? Yes, absolutely. I just haven't been allowed to allow myself to because I have too much shit going on. Wow, we get the walk. What a gift. What a gift. That guy. 6 minutes to re-enter. So we're going to be firing. Currently in for 750. Getting wrecked. This is a no fun spot. We gambling. No snap. Good news. Let's go. What does the week of July 6th look like for Berkey and S4Y? Oh, man, who knows? Who knows at this point? I was planning on being in the main event, but now who knows? This is a reshove. We're still in the re-entry period and in fuck that guy bro mode. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Foot on the gas, baby. Let's go. I'm getting spicy, man. I can't see straight. If I win this tournament in the state of mind that I'm in right now, that would be strong. That would be strong. Maybe I should open up ACR. It feels like their re-entry is just about coming to a close. Another 2 hours of re-entry. Jesus. Do you think Jefferino sniped you the other day? No, I don't. I have met him in real life. I think he's a good kid. I think the likelihood of him having sniped me is low, though possible. If he did, if he needed the $1,500 that bad, good for him. Burke, who wins in the octagon, Dan O'Brien or you? Listen, his knees couldn't take it, man. His knees couldn't handle it. I would need to train, though. I'm not a fighter. Man, these hotkeys are driving me insane. Insane! Do 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 do. With the sheriff's wife, he hung me in the desert for the birds. In this guitar and I wrote down these words. Oh man, all this sitting, man. It's no good. It's no bueno. Bet Berkey loved Puddle of Mud 100%. His first fits his criteria. I actually was not a big Puddle of Mud fan. I did, however, kind of like Creed. I didn't love them. I thought they were wonky, but they were what they presented. Yeah, Matchbox 20's first album was amazing, man. And what a time for it. I was like a junior in high school. Some of their lesser known songs too were just killer, like Cody, Shame, Hang. Hang is like my all-time favorite song. I'm not into Tekashi 6ix9ine. Chin is though. Chin loves Tekashi. I don't know who Cannibal Corpse is. I gotta tell you. I really don't. Yo, don't sleep on Lifehouse, man. They were good. All right, weird spot. 17 big blinds with fours. I think we're just ripping here. We're not like super pumped about the spot, but we have 4 minutes of re-entry left. Trying to accumulate. Sorry, 2 minutes of re-entry left. It's definitely a plus EV shove. Where did you go to college, Berkey? I started at Allegheny in Meadville, Pennsylvania. Then I transferred to Gannon University in Erie, PA. All right, we're going to win a flip here. Swear to God we're going to win a flip. Generally speaking, this is not a flip. Oh, Christ. Rebuy. Generally speaking, do you think players can win a tournament without rebuys and add-ons? Yes, obviously. Players can win all tournaments. I don't understand. What do you mean? I won a few tournaments, but always did multiple rebuys. This is a real question, man. Hanging by a moment's nice. It's about God. I didn't realize that till I was long too far gone. That's not my favorite song by them. Everything is one of my favorite songs for sure. Storm is also an unreleased song. That's one of my favorites. There's another song on that album that I'm a huge, huge fan of. Let me look real quick. Do do do. I'm just looking for your life. Oh no, this is gonna be one of those moments where the re-entry period expires while we're all in. It's less than a minute. These assholes all tank to end the re-entry period. You see what they do? Yeah. Look at this. They all try to make it so that the person who's all in busts. I fucking hate. I hate these goddamn chiselers. I would call off here, but now look, the re-entry period's closed. This is such a joke, man. I hate these guys so badly. I hate them. God, I hate them so much. I hate you. Every one of you clowns out there that does this. Like, if he doesn't have a close spot here, which I'm guessing he doesn't. I like Poker Odyssey's choice in rappers. J. Cole, Kendrick, Big, Jay, Wayne. Love them all. Oh, my God. Why? Why? Why are you doing this with Kings? What does the matter with you? Jesus Christ. Favorite poker podcast? I'm a big fan of Thinking Poker. I think that's it. I think it's like the only one I even give any attention to. Okay, we have 8 big blinds in for the maximum. $1,000. Pray for us. If you had to make out with Garrett and Andy or just Nick Vertucci, which would you choose? Jesus Christ. I'm not into it, man. I'm not into it at all. Ay, ay, ay. What do you think about Garrett? Just kidding, but are you playing cash? I'm not answering either of those any longer. Berkey, you need to read a book. I've read many, my friend. Which ones would you like to talk about? I'm sure I have exposure to a lot of them. Let's go. Good luck, us. I'm out of strat, man. I'm tapped. I'm 7 days into these streams. If you want strat, you're going to have to ask me strat questions. At this point, I'm on autopilot. I'm just answering whatever the chat comes up with. I get super cranky on no sleep. Honestly, I also lose my mind. I feel like I'm going a little bit insane. Okay, he likes Creed. Everyone leave. Creed acoustic, man. There's something to it. There is something to it. I'm not trying to claim that it's good music, by the way. I'm just saying, you know, good luck us. Good luck us. Good luck us. In the springtime. Burns to ashes in the fall. Yep, that's it. All right, everyone. That is going to do it for today's stream. We managed to be on the wrong side of every flip, every 3-1, every 4-1. We couldn't do it today. I apologize. If it was my play, I also apologize for that. How do I get this full screen in here? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you all from the Twitch side of things. To shout out to Bill Perkins for letting me take over the Thirst Lounge today. Really appreciate that. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm sorry it was a little lackluster as far as making runs. I think we only got out of the re-entry period in like 2 events. But tomorrow's going to be a big slate. We have a 525 World Series Circuit Super Series main event, 100K Sunday 215, a couple $100 10K guarantees, as well as I think if I recall, yep, there it is. There is also a 1K. Oh my God. I just realized this circuit series goes into next week. When does it end? When does the madness end? My God, man. So it looks like I'm streaming a full slate tomorrow. I'm going to take Monday off so I can teach homeschool. If you guys want any more information on that, please head to SolveForYAcademy.com. Head into the shop. I'll tell you what, I'll do you one better here for real quick before I sign out today. I'm going to show you guys the curriculum. I'm going to give you a little bit of a quick insight as to what you can expect. For those of you who haven't stuck around to actually hear me talk about it, we're just going to run through the curriculum very, very, very quickly. I mean, very quickly. So this is the homeschool syllabus. As you can see, we go theory discussion, lab, review. Day 1, we're talking pot odds model, equity, direct odds, bluffing odds, minimum defense thresholds, EV, etc. Matt Hunt will then teach you a lab using trainers such as Preflop Plus. Lecture 2 is range construction. We're going to go through position, multi-way, properties of a hand, EV, etc., etc. That lab will then be done with solver work on Thursday. Review worksheet Friday along with the Q&A. Week 2, the capitalization model. That is capitalization, how it pivots into realization and or polarization. It can only move one way or the other. It's difficult to go from realization to polarization. Those are some of the lessons you're going to learn, as well as flop strategy protocols, what positional edge is, range advantage, nut advantage, etc. We will then be teaching you a lab on Tuesday, solidifying those concepts through solver work. Lecture 4 will be the betting size matrix. So we'll go through all the different betting strategies you could potentially have on different board textures. We will then discover what that looks like through the lens of a solver on Thursday. Review worksheet Friday. Week 3, equity thresholds, turn play. We're going to go through the turn strategies, how we decide what hands call to give up, call to improve, call to bluff later, what hands will just fold now because they don't have enough equity, etc. Turn aggression lab, again utilizing solver work. Lecture 6 will be pot construction. So we'll be looking again through the sizing lens. Christian's going to be leading that one once again. Matt will then be demonstrating to you what the turn defense looks like through solver work, and we will review Friday. Finally, the river, week 4, polarization versus bluff catching. Ultimately, when we arrive at the river, it's the only situation in poker where we have binary decisions. Our hand is either best or it's not. There's no more equity to be distributed. So we're going to go through the ace, king, queen game. This is nuts, bluff, air. And we're going to demonstrate capped versus uncapped, dipolar versus dipolar ranges, what the incentive of ranges are, what the incentive of hands are, etc. We're going to dissect these river spots through solver work. Then we're going to go through overbetting as a weapon. Christian's going to lead that model. We're going to talk about when to overbet, when to piggyback and overbet with an overbet. So we're going to talk about turn and river strategy here. Again, Matt's going to demonstrate all of this through solver work. And finally, we will review at the end of the week. We'll do a big review for the entire course. If you're interested in this, head on over to solve4yacademy.com. Head right to the shop. Click on homeschool. You will find yourself the ability to purchase $2,000. The curriculum can be found here through a double click. It'll take you right back to where we just were. I appreciate all of you tuning in. I appreciate you guys being a part of us getting into the streaming streets, supporting us throughout all of this, and listening to all my tales and stories. Please join me again tomorrow for what hopes to be a very long stream, one that will save my last 2 days. I'm down $10,000 in my last 3 streams after being up $30,000 in my first 3 streams. We got work to do, kids. Let's go. I will be joining you guys all again tomorrow. Thank you again, and we're out.